Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Zebu Nation. This is Loser to Legend with CLYDE FC, and today we have for you the mid-season review for Season 7 in Ladbrokes League 1. Let's get right to it. Check out the league table, and here we are. After 18 games, we're in 3rd place. That's pretty good. We got 8 wins, 6 draws, 4 losses. Total of 30 points and a plus 14 goal differential. Now Brecken has jumped ahead of us in terms of goal differential with plus 1 over us, but they've also separated themselves a little bit from the rest of the league at the top of the table. They're in 1st place with 38 points, full 8 points ahead of us. Now, the good news in that department is that we have the same number of losses as they do, only 4 losses. So if they get a couple of losses, we get a couple of wins, we're right back in there. We're also only 2 points behind Wraith, so it's a very tight race here at the top of the table, and even all the way down the table. If you look at, Wraith with 32 points all the way down to Aloha in 8th place, they're only 10 points separating those two teams. So still a lot of games to play, a lot of points to be had, and so I think any team in this top 8 here could make a run. And so what we got to make sure is that we're part of those teams that make a run, and not like last year, we're part of the teams that fall apart and fall behind. So this is a very critical mid-season point. We gotta turn the season around, make sure the ship is pointing in the right direction. And one of the things that helps us point in the right direction is our players playing well, of course. And we got a couple of guys on the top lists here. We got Antoniazzi at the top of the average rating list. He's tied, technically 2nd place, but with a 7.29 rating this season. He's played exceptionally well. He's played different positions for us as well. He's played attacking center mid, and he's played out on the right wing as well. So the fact that he's been able to play 2 positions and still keep such a high rating is a pretty good indicator of how good he is. And then we got Craig Potts, one of our many strikers over here, 2nd in the league in assists. So he's been getting his getting the ball to his main man. I think Critchley is the guy he's formed the partnership with. So those 2 guys have been playing well. On the bad news of things, we are top of the league table in terms of injuries right now. We got 4 current injuries. 4 also has 4. So we got to overcome that. We got a little bit of a smaller roster this season, so it's a little bit tougher to overcome these injuries. But so far, we still have enough squad depth to not have it be an issue. All right, so that's how we stand in the league right now. 3rd place. A little precarious because of the teams below us, but we've also got some opportunities ahead of us. So I think we're still in a solid position. It's just a matter of executing on the field and winning some games. So let's run down the checklist and see where we're at as a franchise, as a collective organization. Under 20s, not much going on there. We've called a few guys up from the under 20s. We might have to call Campbell up at some point. He's pretty decent young prospect, but I don't know that we need him. I think we got plenty of fullbacks at the moment. We've called up some other guys just to get them some experience and just to add some depth to the squad. So, the under 20s are looking pretty thin right now. Finances, we're still sinking, still a sinking ship. I think we're coming to critical mass here pretty soon in terms of the finances bottoming out. And I don't really know what to do about it other than just tremendously slashing payroll. And that's going to hurt a lot. Now, we are still way under budget. $894,000 is what they've offered us, which is way more than we're spending, $579. But even $579 is a little too much. So, I don't know. Next season, we might have to think about really slashing the budget, especially if we don't make it, if we don't get promoted. And just have it be sort of a rebuilding season, I guess. But we don't want to get relegated back to League 2. So it's this could be like a do or die kind of season, at least financially for us. Anyway, the board, they're still happy with us. We're still secure. 58% is pretty good. Board confidence. They still love our club finances. 100%. They are just rose-colored glasses at the moment. Leadership support, of course, is also very good. Club philosophies. They like that we've signed young players. Very pleased with your keeping up your agreed philosophies. That's good. Take a look at the club issues. First team youngster signings is 100%. Delighted with the number of youngsters you signed. And they're probably still reserving judgment on your willingness to hand out opportunities to young players, whatever that means. Job value is a little low at the moment, only 28%. But other than that, we're looking okay. Get to the club. Speaking of the club, not much has changed. Ronan McCullough is our hot prospect now. Take a look at him real quick. He's, I don't know that he's really a hot prospect, but he is getting better right now. He's got nice mentals, teamwork, vision, work rate, technique. So he could be improving. Physically, he's not very good. He's got low determination, which isn't very good. Is he being tutored? He is not. Let's get him some tutoring. What's Andy Dallas all about? What's his determination? Only 7. Sinclair. Determination 8. Slightly better. He's a balanced player. How about McLaughlin? Determination 12. Balanced player. Looks for the pass rather than score. Looks to switch the ball to the other flank. So maybe we'll have McLaughlin train this young boy up. Get him some resiliency. There we go. Interesting photo. Anyway, that's our club. Not much going on. How about... Are we on the list? No. Cudahy, though. Peters, King are on the list. Darren Miller's still up there as a... icon of the club. So we got to do something. We got to win like coach of the year, or we just got to get promoted or something to get on this list, because it's starting to be a drag, I got to tell you. All right. Now we'll move to transfers. Again, not a lot going on here. We got Craig Burchill going out. He's another youngster, 19-year-old, getting ready to graduate from the academy. We're not going to use him. He's just not very good. He's got nice fitness, nice teamwork. Work rate, but other than that, not a lot. So he's going out to Irvine Meadow. Get him out of here. Transfer history. Released players. I was just looking at the released players because we did release 2 players in August. Yeah. Charlie Mulgrew and Cammie Russell. Got rid of them. Got him out of here. I think I talked about these guys. They wanted more playing time. We had plenty of guys at their position, so we got them out of there. All transfers. We haven't made any transfers since then. If you remember last season, at this time of the year, we brought in a ton of transfers and we ruined our season. But the good news for us is the transfer window isn't actually open at the moment. It doesn't open until next week, so we can't ruin our season until next week. I'm not planning on doing that, but, you know, the temptation is always there. Scouting, competitions, you can see here, the board wants us to reach the promotion playoff this season. So that could be dangerous. I mean, we're in the promotion playoff right now, so they're happy, but there's still a long way to go. They wanted us to reach the 4th round in the Scottish Cup, so we only reached the 3rd round, so that's a bit of a knock against us. We were competitive in the Betfred Cup, I suppose. And they wanted us to reach the 3rd round of the Iron Brew, and we did reach the 3rd round of the Iron Brew, so we got that one going for us. So we got 1 strike against us, 1 strike for us. It's all going to come down to whether we reach promotion playoff or not. I mean, we could get fired if we don't reach promotion playoff. You know, we've been there long enough that, you know, the fans could get restless, the board could get restless. They could say, look, we've given this guy 6 years, 7 years to get us promoted, and he's only done it once. We need to get higher, to get more money, to get the club finances in order. So if he can't do it, we're going to find somebody else who can, or somebody else who's going to be less ambitious and cut all the finances and go back down to League 2. I don't know. Anyway, we got to worry about that, but for now there's still a long season left to go. And let's check out that season. So last we left off, let me see, where were we? You saw the 1-1 draw versus Aloha in our quarter season review. After that, we played one of our annual money games versus Celtic, got smashed 4-1, but then we bounced back, with probably the most dominant performance I've ever seen from CLYDE FC. 6-1 over Forfar. We just jumped on them early and we just smashed them. Peters jumped out in the 2nd minute and got a goal. Critchley joined in the 20th minute. They got one back in the 38th minute, but then we just hammered them from them on out. 43rd minute, 51st, 63rd, 86th minute. We just kept piling it on. 6-1, we smashed them. This was just, we were flying high at this point in the season, just playing so well. You know, you look at, where did it go? I missed it. 6-1, there it is. You look at some of the results before that. 4-0 versus Stirling, 5-0 versus Dumbarton, 3-1 Brecon, 3-0 Queen's Park. I mean, we were just crushing people. Then we came back and had another friendly versus Barnhill, a lower division team, an amateur team, just to build some fitness for some of our youngsters. And our youngsters beat them 4-0. We played Queen's Park again with a draw at home. A little upset about that one. We didn't play too particularly well. We played in the 4-2-3-1. We changed it up a little bit to get Lockheed and Antoniazzi in the game at the same time, as well as Zata. I think Sinclair was complaining about playing time, so we needed to get a lot of midfielders in the game. So we tried the 4-2-3-1. Came away with a draw. Wasn't real impressed with that formation. But then we bounced back versus Peterhead, 3-1. This was a very good game. We dominated this game, even though 3-1 makes it look a little closer than it was. But we just played very well. Peterhead is I don't think they're a good team this year, but you know, traditionally they've been a pretty good team. Here's our first goal. El Bouzidi gets it forward to Lockheed. Nice tackle, but Antoniazzi gets it to Peters for the goal. So that puts us up just at the end of the first half. And then beginning of the second half, there's an own goal. Richie, like a knucklehead, just lets the ball bounce off him into the goal. And then here's Gray, our fullback, with a free kick goal. If you remember, I took Miller off the free kick goals, and now suddenly we got 2 free kick goals in one season. So, and then here they are in the 91st minute. Ferguson just getting one back with a very poor piece of goalkeeping there. Just lets it slide past him. I mean, it was a consolation goal at best, but still, you know, not happy to see that one let through. Who let that through? That was Wilson. Wilson's been our top goalkeeper this season, and he's been playing well for the most part. Then after that Peterhead game, we played Celtic again. We played a lot of our backups against Celtics, and they punished us for us. 7-0. And a lot of times when you play these kind of friendlies and you get smashed, your team sort of has an immediate poor effect from that. So maybe that's to blame for what's coming up next. But in the game immediately after that versus Stranraer, we beat them 1-0. Had a pretty decent home game. I mean, we played a little defensively again, the 4-2-3-1. Antoniazzi got injured, so that was no good. We had a couple of injuries, as I mentioned. I guess we didn't look at the injury list. We'll look at that in a minute. But, you know, it was an okay game, but then things started to go south for us versus, ironically, Queen of the South. 4-2 loss in the Scottish Cup 3rd round. Remember, we were supposed to reach the 4th round. Now, Queen of the South is a very good team. I think they're championship. Yeah, they're in the championship. So they're the next level up. I mean, they should be better than us, but I thought we had a chance to beat them. I thought we were as good as them, but they jumped out on us early, and it wasn't very pretty. We made a game of it in the middle, but they finished us off at the end, so it wasn't really the kind of performance that we want. Now, here it is in the 9th minute, them just rushing forward on the attack. Connolly looking back post to Turner, and great stop by Parks was in at goal. You know, he's good at making some fantastic stops, but he couldn't stop the rebound, and his defense gave him no help. So here's 29th minute, Zata gets it forward to Andy Dallas, who ties it up. So at this point, we're thinking, all right, we're playing pretty well with these guys. Let's see if we can hold out till halftime with the 1-1, but unfortunately, Much gets forward and just an easy goal there. He just catches the goalkeeper out of position. Parks wasn't fully match fit at this point. And then here we are just a couple minutes later, 38 minutes down, they get a penalty kick. So that puts them up 3-1. We try to push forward in the second half. Critchley looking. Leach out wide, back to Critchley. He gets an easy goal. So it's 3-2 at this point, and we're thinking we got a chance. You know, we start pushing forward again. Here we are on the attack, and they catch us on the counter. Muirhead busting past the defense. He just out-muscles the central defender. Nice pass to Hurst. And it's all over. 4-2. 86 minutes down. We can't come back from 2 goals at that point. So we're knocked out of the cup. And we start a slide. We get just absolutely smashed in our 2 most important games of the mid-season. Brecon and Wraith, the 2 teams ahead of us. At the time, we were tied with, I think we were tied with Brecon, and Wraith was actually first place at that time. But Brecon come out, and they just smashed us. You know, we held them pretty tightly for the first half. And then second half, we tried to push forward on them. Again, this time we had switched to the diamond. Because 4-2-3-1 just wasn't doing it for me. So we switched back to the diamond, got some of our old players in there. Cudahy, Miller, Critchley and Potts up top, Lockheed. So we had a pretty decent attack. Just we couldn't do anything. So we tried pushing forward, and they punished us for us. 3 goals in the second half, including one in the 90th minute to just salt it away. So that was no good. And then it was even worse versus Wraith, who just smashed us from the outset. 16th minute in, Todorov gets a goal. I don't know if you remember this guy. We looked at him at the beginning of the season. One of the most highly valuable players in the league, making $25,000 a year. The big Bulgarian target man. 6'5". He's pretty good. Big, strong, jumping reach, all that stuff. I mean, he's not unstoppable or anything like that. But he did a number on us. He had an 8.5 rating, a goal, assist, 2 key passes against us. And they just smashed us with 3 goals in the opening half. And we just couldn't do anything against it. Again, we switched formations back to the 4-2-3-1. So at that point, I didn't want things to get out of control, right? We've lost 3 in a row. We can't go on another huge losing streak. So I tried to dial things back a little bit versus Aloha. You know, go back to the 4-2-3-1 because we had been playing better defensively in the 4-2-3-1. We haven't been giving up 3 goals anyway. And we did play better defensively, but we didn't play good offensively. And that's the problem with this formation. It's decent defensively. It's not very good offensively, though. And we just couldn't score goals. Leach had a terrible game out on the wing. Had to replace him with King, who didn't do a heck of a lot better. The whole team, the whole offense just stagnated, honestly. So we should have beaten Aloha. We got the 0-0 draw, and then we came back versus Dumbarton and really struggled versus Dumbarton. And this time we went to the diamond again. Brought in a lot of the old hands. You know, again, Cudahy and Miller back in the midfield. And again, they just didn't play well. 6.0 rating for our striker Potts. That's just awful. Critchley played okay, 6'9" and a goal. But that goal came very late. It was a very late equalizer. We had to really push forward against Dumbarton to get this late equalizer. And then just sort of shut it down and secure the draw, unfortunately. So it hasn't been a great stretch. 5 games without a win. So today's game versus Sterling is incredibly important. Get the competition Sterling is in 7th place. They're one of those teams, if they could make a run, they can get right back into the mix. So we got to prevent them from making a run, and we got to, get ourselves back on track. So let's get to that game. And we're going to go with the 4-2-4. We're going to go back to it. We were smashing people with this earlier in the season. So let's get back to it this season. Let's show some confidence. Let's go out on the attack. 7th place team, we should be able to attack versus a 7th place team. So let's go, basically. Take a drink of water here. Recording this early morning session. Sometimes the mouth gets pretty dry. But yeah, Sterling, we beat them pretty handily earlier in the season, so we got to come back and try and do that again. We're going to use the same formation that we used last time. Not exactly the same players, but Antoniazzi has passed his fitness test. Ian Smith failed his fitness test. Oh, by the way, let's look at the medical center. Now, Zata right now has got a heavy match load. He's only got average injury susceptibility, but right now our sports scientist is telling us he's got a high risk of injury, so we're going to leave him out. Here are our 4 injuries down here. Lockheed, important dude, attacking center mid. Muirhead, reserve player, academy player, so not that important. Glover, one of our most important central defenders, and then Ian Smith, one of our best defensive fullbacks. So this could be why we've lost some of our defense, with Glover and Smith both out. Those are 2 of our better defenders. And then Muirhead and Lockheed, 2 of our attackers. I mean, Lockheed much more important. He's been playing so well, but now he's out for another 4 weeks. It's pretty, twisted ankle. It's almost worse than like a broken ankle. Well, probably not, but it's one of those injuries that lingers, so we're going to have to watch him. Antoniazzi coming off the groin strain, so we're running out of advanced midfielders. Zata, Lockheed, and Antoniazzi are basically all of our advanced midfielders unless we bring up our #1 prospect from the under-20s. So we got issues there. We can't have an injury to Antoniazzi. So here we go. We're going to play Sterling. Sterling are 6-4 favorites right now in this match. It must be a home game for them. Looks like they might play the 4-4-2 diamond narrow, so they're going to use our own formation against us. So yeah, we are going to go with the 4-2-4. We got Peters, King, Elbuzetti, Zata, Gray, and Lindsay and Parks on the bench. So we got some good players on the bench should we need them. Got some guys lacking match fitness. It's been hard keeping these guys match fit. Not too happy about that. So here, yep, they are going with the diamond. They've got A. Johnston up top. 15 goals on the season, 7.19 rating. He's looking pretty good. Their team captain is Mercer. No stats for Mercer, unfortunately. As far as our lineup goes, we got Wilson in goal. Moved Gorman out to fullback with Finlayson. Davies and Kessie, the old tandem in the midfield. Sinclair is going to play the box-to-box on the left-hand side. He's a left footer. We're going to have Miller in, old man Miller. Give us a little stability in the midfield. Leach on the left, Antoniazzi on the right, and then Potts and Critchley up top. Potts is, if this will work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There he is. Most assists, 8 assists on the season. That's over all competition. 7.13 rating. Only 5 goals. He's the advanced forward. And then Critchley is our top goal scorer with 14. He's the poacher. So hopefully Potts can get it to Critchley, rack up those assists, rack up those goals. 7.58 rating too. He's crushing it. So let's go. All right. Hand that over to the assistant. Set opposition instructions. We got to close down, tightly mark on these strikers. Can't let those guys loose because they're gonna roam wide. They're gonna act as wingers and they're gonna go all over the place. Watch the advance forward. Then we got to watch the fullbacks. They're gonna come forward at some point. Maybe not right away. They don't appear to be set in any kind of wing back position at the moment, but This guy number 3 might be a little bit ahead. He might be in support right now. I don't know. But we'll keep an eye on those fullbacks just in case. So here we are. Kind of looks like a... No, it's not a home game. We don't have one of those stands at the end of the field. So we are in our classic unis, the white top, black shorts, Red Sox. Let's go, boys. Potts getting forward early, gets it across to Critchley. An early goal, look at that, 15 seconds in. This is how we wanted to start the game, boys. This is how we want to break out of a slump with a 15-second goal. Leach just sort of slow plays it on the wing and then pops it forward. Lazy ball forward to Potts. Great cross. Great goal. Those two have such good chemistry. That's why I like to put them in the game together, and they're showing you. One more assist, one more goal for our leading men. All right. Here's Sterling with the corner kick. And they get one right back. All right. So, you know, there ends the celebration right there. Drop back down to 3rd place real quickly. On the corner, let's see. Johnston just right over. Central defenders don't move after that at all. Actually, it was our number 6 who didn't move. So that's, I think, Sinclair or Miller, one of those two guys. Okie dokie, so yeah. I thought we were going to get off to a real good start, but they've taken the wind out of our sails with that goal. So now we're going to get back to a little bit more of an average start here. We should be telling our players to try short passing. Nah. I mean, we did catch him with a long ball that first pass, but maybe that was just an anomaly. They seem to be setting back a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know that you really want to set back too much. Okay, here's Miller taking a direct kick. That's no good. So we're taking shots from long range. Sinclair, long shots of 8. Miller, long shots of 6. So we probably don't want to be taking long shots, but want to stifle our offense at this point. Our ratings looking pretty decent. Gorman maybe not playing so well. He's a little bit out of position at the fullback. All right, here we go. Downfield, Waters. Sinclair's going to gather that in, gets it forward to Potts. Potts has Leach on the outside, gets it to him. Leach across to Critchley. Offside. Oh my gosh, that was a heck of a stop from McKay. Didn't matter, he's offside, but still. Great stop. "39 minutes, 40 minutes and counting. It looks like we're going to go into half with the 1-1 draw here. 2 minutes of extra time. So we got some stuff to talk about, some stuff to think about. Work the ball in the box. Maybe move our fullbacks up to the support role or attack role. What does our analysis say? Both teams are threatening from long range. Work the ball in the box. Short passing. More direct passing. So make up your mind, essentially. Let's go to tactics. Everybody's sort of playing average. Kessie, not so good, 6.4. I thought about taking out Antoniazzi just so he doesn't get injured again, but he seems to be looking okay at the moment. No undue stress. So team instruction-wise, let's work the ball in the box. I'm okay with that. And then let's send Finlayson forward on support. What about Gorman? What are you up to these days? I mean, maybe. The other thing we could do is we could move Gorman in here to central defense, take Kessie out, bring in Scott Gray, who's, you know, much more of a forward-thinking fullback. Now, he's not very good defensively, per se, so maybe we'll save that position, that change for the second half, a little later in the second half. All right. and the pep talk. I hand those over to my assistant more and more these days. I probably shouldn't because he makes the team mad much more than I do, but it's just like one less button I have to click. So, I don't know. Some days it seems worth it to click one less button, and there we are. What did I tell you? Should have taken him out. All right, but we got Albuzetti on the bench. He'll come in just fine. But now we're going to be without Antoniazzi again for a couple of more games, so I should have taken him out. Anyway, Gorman, throw in, far side, gets it to Leach. Leach, looking for some support, gets it forward to Potts. Nice pass. Centering pass doesn't go anywhere. Miller's going to have to track it down. He sends it into Albuzetti. Is he onside? He looks onside. He gets tackled, though. Waters and Sterling might be looking to start a counterattack. No, they're going to slow play it. McIntosh. Waters. It's an interesting highlight. Now he finally sort of lumps it forward. Hodge plays it forward to Johnston on a little give and go. He's off the post. Boy, that was some real bad defending on the back line, but at least Davies got in there. I think he went right past Kessie. That's Kessie on the right-hand side. So I think we might have to make that move. And there's another free kick goal, or another corner kick goal. Unbelievable. Our guys just stood there. It's Kessie, right over Kessie again. All right. Come on. So we're going to move Davies over, move Gorman in, and move Gray to left fullback. Send him forward more. So now we got to score. Oy vey, we can't stand another loss. Here's Finlayson. Let's go. Albuzetti. Substitute. Gets it to Critchley. Critchley looking for support. Finlayson. It's headed out, and Sterling on the counterattack. Johnston drops it back. Bad touch. Miller takes advantage to Potts. Potts forward to Critchley. Critchley to Miller, the old man. Yes! That's his first goal of the season, I think. Lovely counterattack by Clyde. This was a mistake dropping it back, and their central defender couldn't handle it. Miller, the ball winner, rushes forward, gets some old bones rolling. Nice finish. Nice, simple finish. Good passing, boys. We get the draw here, so let's see if we still got a lot of time left. It's just now coming up on the 60-minute point. We've already made 2 substitutions. Let's see what we can do. They're going to try to lull us back to sleep, which seems to be what they like to do. Lull you to sleep and then hit you on the counterattack. "67 minutes and counting. The clock is just rolling. 70 minutes. No highlights. I mean, at this point, what do you change, right? We don't have any yellow cards. We could try getting stuck in. But, you know, you don't want to just bomb forward. We're already bombing forward pretty much. We're already attacking. Guess let's try getting stuck in. Critchley has taken a slight injury. Dang it. It's going to be our 3rd injury. We can bring in Dakota King at the poacher. #1 goal scorer off the charts here. He's on the bench. I mean, King's a good substitute. He's a capable scorer. 13 finishing, 11 composure, 12 pace, 14 acceleration. So he can play that poacher role. Not great by any means anymore. We've been steadily moving him out to winger and inside forward, where he's a little bit, more capable out there. At least his stats, match up a little better. But anyway, here we are, 95 minutes down, 10 seconds. This is probably the last highlight. Potts sends it in. Albuzetti wins the header, and there we go. The winless streak continues. We salvaged another draw, I guess. I don't know. Unlucky, boys, I guess. Let's leave the match. Let's get out of there. Don't even want to look at the ratings. Kind of see him from here. 6-5, 6-4. Miller had a great second half, but other than that. So we kept our third place position. Peterhead, there's Sterling. They kept their 24 points. But Wraith got a win. So they're now 4 points ahead of us. Brecon got a win. They're now 10 points ahead of us. So we're losing. We didn't lose our third place, but we've lost position against the top two teams. And they've already beat us this season, so we got a long ways to go versus those guys and versus the rest of the season. So let's take a look at the schedule. Next 8 games. 4 for Peterhead, Queens Park, Stranraer. There's Wraith and Brecon again, back to back. So those are 2 really important games right there. We should be able to beat Forfar. I mean, we beat them 6-1 earlier in the season. We see if we can do that again, or even if 3-1, 2-1. I'd take any victory at the moment. Peterhead, Queens Park, Stranraer. So those are 4 winnable games right there, and then the big 2. So we gotta take care of business. We gotta win some games. All right, so I guess that's it. We'll come back for the 3/4 season update and see where we're at. See if we bring in any transfers on the transfer window, because the transfer deadline, the transfer window opens on Monday. I doubt we will. We haven't really looked at much in terms of scouting or anything like that. We got 1 month to figure it out. But, yeah. We got to learn from our mistakes of last season, but maybe we'll make a whole new mistakes this season. That's why we play the game, right? So, I guess that's it. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
There's a team they call the CLYDE, who will fill your heart with pride. Dressed up in the red and black, we an L sign on the back. They've a winger and a keeper and a great big carpet sweeper.